I'm going to tell you how to drastically improve at disc golf with these 5 tips. What's up guys, my name is Kyle. I started playing disc golf in January of 2022. Fast forward to today and I'm averaging about 950 rated rounds, and I want to help you improve as much as I have. So I've compiled a list of the 5 most important things I've learned on my disc golf journey, and I'm going to share them with you today. The first tip is to improve your physical health. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of disc golf, but it's essential if you're really serious about improving. Each round you walk anywhere from 2 to 3 miles with a backpack full of discs on. These bags can weigh up to 20 pounds, which puts a lot of strain on your body. You also pick it up off the ground at least 50 times, which is the equivalent to over 1,000 pounds of lifting over the course of a round. And I haven't even mentioned the amount of stress that throwing puts on your arm. Throwing over and over and over again over the course of weeks, months, and years really starts to add up. You do not want to risk injury. That is why it is so important to take care of your body. Be sure to warm up and stretch properly every time you play. Start going to the gym, lifting weights, and doing some cardio. Having good stamina will ensure that you're still at your best by the time you get to the end of your round. Also, don't discount the importance of eating healthier and getting the proper amount of sleep, and especially during these summer months, staying hydrated. Be sure you're drinking a lot of water. While you do not have to be a tremendous athlete to play disc golf, the better shape you are in, the more it will enhance your disc golf game and your overall health in the long run. Now that we've addressed the physical aspect, it's time to focus on the second tip, which is controlling your mental game. The way you handle yourself and control your thoughts during a round is arguably the most important part of disc golf. If you throw a terrible shot and start getting all frustrated, you're going to start throwing more and more and more bad shots, and before you know it, that one bad throw has now cost your entire round. So don't let that happen to you. If you find yourself getting frustrated out on the course, try taking a couple deep breaths or putting an earbud in with some music if that helps you stay focused. When you inevitably make a mistake out on the course, just remember it's only one shot and try to stay positive. Everybody makes mistakes during a round, even Paul Macbeth, so don't be too hard on yourself. Just identify what you did wrong on that throw and then move on to the next throw. It is so important to take your round one throw at a time. There's no sense in worrying about a bad shot that you previously did because now you can't change it. The only thing you can control is the throw in front of you, so make sure it's your best one. Be confident in each shot you throw and commit. Now that we've discussed the physical and mental aspects of the sport, it's time to talk about what to do in an actual round. So tip number 3 is to play safe golf. The best way to consistently score well in disc golf is to play safe, smart golf. Look at someone like Nate Sexton. He made his whole career adopting this strategy of golf. Some people may call this style of play boring, but I disagree. I think it's a lot more fun when you're taking less bogeys. Trying to birdie every single hole usually results in you taking more bogeys than you expect, especially if you're just starting out. So my advice would be only attack a hole for birdie if you know you can do that shot consistently. Otherwise, just play the hole for par. However, when you do end up in a bad situation, I would recommend just taking your medicine and laying up and settling for a bogey if you have to. Before every shot, it's important to evaluate the risk versus the reward. Trying to do the miracle hero shot to save your par barely ever works out, and it usually results in you taking a double or even a triple bogey at worst case scenario. And the most important part of playing safe golf is to avoid OB like the plague, because those strokes can add up really quickly. So if there's OB on a hole, just keep your disc in play the entire time. Don't challenge the OB line if you don't have to. Tip number 4, generally discing down or throwing slower speed discs is going to be better for you. Throwing slower speed discs, especially mid-ranges and putters, gives you so much more control and accuracy than throwing those high-speed drivers. This one tip has improved my disc golf game so much. So, especially if you're a beginner, I would recommend staying away from all discs that are higher than a 9 speed, because you probably don't have the arm speed yet to handle those distance drivers. But that's okay, because most people shouldn't be throwing distance drivers a whole lot anyways. Even on wide open bomber courses, I like to stick to throwing a lot of 7 and 9 speeds just to make sure I hit my landing zones and stay in the fairways. A couple of other quick tips to think about when picking out a disc. A tailwind will make a disc more overstable. So for right-handed backhand throwers, a tailwind will make a disc fade harder to the left, and a headwind will make a disc more understable. Throwing up and down elevations will also affect the flight of a disc. If you're throwing uphill, the disc will act more overstable, but if you're throwing downhill, the disc will act more understable than usual. Determining which disc to throw is a crucial part of disc golf, but it can be very difficult because there are so many different factors. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a full video going more in depth into disc selection. So the last tip number 5, is to practice. None of these other tips will work if you do not practice. It is important to go do field work to dial in your bag. However, don't just go out to a field trying to chunk it as far as you can and see how far you can throw it. Go out to a field with purpose in mind. Try getting clean releases and having a smooth form. Try throwing your discs on all types of angles, hyzer and flat releases, and different types of throws like forehands and backhands, so you really learn all of your discs in different scenarios. Recording yourself to analyze your form can also be a great tool to identify what you are doing wrong. Once you see yourself throw on camera, you'll realize you probably aren't doing what you think you're doing in your head. Now, while fieldwork is necessary, you should be spending the most amount of your time practicing putting. It has been the single most important thing that has improved my disc golf game. Throwing far is great, but having a solid putt and approach game is what will really separate you from the competition. The saying, drive for show, putt for dough, is so true. Think about it. How often do you really have to throw a full drive out there during a round? Not very often, maybe once or twice. But how often do you have to putt? Every single hole. So do not neglect your putting practice. It is so important. Now, before I end this video, I have one quick bonus tip for you. Join a local league or play in tournaments, even if you don't think you are ready yet. You will learn so much and gain invaluable experience that you can't get by watching YouTube videos. Play with people that are much better than you. Watch what they do. See what discs they're throwing, what lines they're taking, and be sure to ask them questions and learn from them. Go out and make as many friends as you can in this amazing community. Trust me, you won't regret it. So to summarize, take care of your physical health, keep a positive mental attitude, play safe golf, learn your disc selection, and practice, practice, practice. If you do all of these things, there's no way you won't become a better disc golfer. Most importantly, remember to have fun and embrace the journey. Success won't happen overnight. It will take a lot of time and hard work, but it's worth it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to know the best beginner discs, click here. If you want to know the right way to practice for a tournament, watch this video. And if you struggle to make putts, this video is for you. See you guys.